Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for access support. Any kind of updates and the such, I usually go about on Twitter X. Yes, I did manage to publish a Planet of Lana episode. After this one wraps up, I think we got at least a couple of more episodes. I will be introducing Jusan. I still have to manage to wrap up recording that series, but already recorded some episodes to have on the backlog to be able to publish on time when I can. But yeah, other than that, the usual stuff here. The content is displayed here on the main page of the channel in playlists. Let's try and see what kind of news do we got today. Supposedly, Lisa Su did an interview with, I think this is ASUS CEO, Tony Yu. And basically, here the article covers the first week of sales. Supposedly, she made the reference of the 9070 XT. Dr. Lisa Su didn't mention the 97, the RDNA for the ones that launch as an overall. It seems that the 9070 XT, and I assume it's the comparatively with other launches from AMD, they sold around 10 times more than previous generations. Again, I'm assuming this sold 10 more times than the 7900 XTX, the GPU that I have there, which to a certain degree is, I think it's a good, even though, again, don't forget that supposedly the 9070 XT as an MSRP point GPU is $600. Of course, it will sell more than 1000 or more GPU at the time of launch of the RDNA free. But yeah, it's good to see that at least it seems that it's selling well. Again, as a counterpoint from NVidia, which supposedly this GPU, the 9070 XE, does compete supposedly in terms of price to performance with the 5070 Ti. Again, at the current price point, I think it's still pretty competitive. Um, I'm not exactly sure how how the 23% uplift in terms of price performance with the 5070 Ti can be that accurate. Again, depending on the price of the GPUs themselves. But again, they are still cheaper. It seems that now that supposedly the inventory or the stocks of these GPUs, both from AMD and NVIDIA, will stabilize a little bit more. It seems that the creep up in prices is stagnating, and some models here and there are dropping very slowly from their high-end prices there for medium-range GPUs, let's say. Hopefully, the 9070 XT can stay close to the MSRP as it can, as possible, because some models are creeping up to 750, give or take, which is basically the MSRP of the 5070 Ti. The 5070 Ti, it seems to be averaging around still 800 and up in terms of how it's selling in prices. But yeah, if they maintain a difference of around at least 20%, I think the AMD GPU will sell well. Again, FSR4, again, when managed to be implemented here, it's pretty good. The comparisons videos that I saw puts it between the DLSS 3.7, so the CNN model, and between the transformer model. So it's basically almost on par with the new transformer model that NVIDIA is bringing on the DLSS upscaling side of things there. Which is pretty good, given that this GPU can't supposedly perform pretty well on 4K native, but giving a little bit extra juice with FSR4 when possible, I think it's a good thing to see. But yeah, hopefully it will eat up a little bit of market share. Maybe NVIDIA will feel a little bit more pressure to be more aggressive on the pricing. There's been some rumblings with the 5060 Ti's and 56, but again, it's not going to save NVIDIA with this generation, it seems. Again, the GPUs are not that good. Again, I assume the 9060 will be around, I don't know, 12 VRAM. 12 gigabytes of VRAM, while the 5060 Ti will have two variants, 8 gigabytes and 16 gigabytes. Again, I don't think there's going to be extra performance between those variants from the 5060 Ti, except some if you push the graphics a little bit farther than the VRAM of the 8 gigabytes, then you can see a little bit uplift in performance. Other than that, again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not very hopeful, and I think as the high end, the 9070 XT does perform way better than NVIDIA, at least in terms of price to performance. But then again, we got the 5090s to 5080s, which it's again, in terms of generational leap, it's nothing, and they are way more expensive. Again, the 5080 supposedly it's $1,000, but is being sold usually 2,000 or something like that. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Wait for the market to stabilize a little bit. As usual, if you really need to buy a GPU, I hope you consider even previous generations. They are pretty capable. Some models are pretty capable still, playing at least with rasterized performance comparatively with RDNA 4 and even with the Blackwell GPUs. But yeah, it's all about the price, and I think depending on your budget, again, I cannot give big broad advices. Is at least consider not only the GPUs that are coming out now, the new ones, but older generations, at least the previous generation, might be a better solution for the moment being. But if you can wait, just wait until the prices stabilize it, and maybe we'll see something coming out of AMD. There's been some rumors keep persisting regarding like a 9070 XTX or something like that, or 9075 or something like that coming up really soon. I don't know. It's a lot of rumors. I try not to cover those that much, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this goes. And regarding possible GPUs, we got again. I covered this, given that there was like an unboxing kind of article regarding supposedly reference card. Again, this should be considered, for example, engineering sample, probably distributed for AIB partners to pick apart and try and engineer thermal solutions, and also as a GPU as a whole to test out and manufacture the software needed for the AIB GPUs. Something interesting here, again, this is not for sale. Again, this is kind of a black market thing. So somebody managed to get around and buy this GPU. Again, funny enough, this is relatively similar to the rendering that we saw on the presentation of RDNA 4, at least the reference design, the mock-up there. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. And yeah, this is a non-XT variant, so it doesn't perform that much comparatively with the IB partners, because they really can squeeze a little bit out of more juice out of these GPUs in terms of overclocking. But yeah, it's one of those curiosity things here. Interestingly, in terms of temperatures, it does really keep itself very cool, even with this only two fan cooler here solution. But yeah, interesting to see how how these kind of GPUs from time to time they appear. We got also some. I think I covered a 4090 with 48 gigabytes, something like that. Again, it's from time to time you see these kind of things pop up. But yeah, it's one of those curiosity things here that, again, just to satisfy the what if scenario there. Continue with the AMD. We got the Medusa point. Again, this is the APU stuff here for laptops or mobile devices. It seems that it's going to utilize a bigger socket. Again, I brought this because they are basically kind of doing this Medusa point. So it's going to be full Zen 6. So it's not going to be the ones that are currently on, which have some Zen 5 and Zen 5, 5C cores, which is kind of the performance, and the other ones, the saving energy, more energy saving cores there. It seems that this will also use a 12 core 24 thread chiplet on this Medusa thing here, a little bit bigger, like 6% bigger in terms of the socket size, it seems. And again, with the chiplet-based design, they will be able to have a separate IO die. It's manufactured in the 3 nanometer process instead of the 4 nanometer process used at this point in time with Strix Point, which is interesting given that the manufacturing process is a little bit smaller, but the die is going to be a little bit bigger. I think it has to do with the fact that I assume the iGPU will still use the 3.5 RDNA 3.5. It's not going to use RDNA 4. I already covered this on the mobile stuff there. Chips from AMD. I think they are waiting after launching this Zen 6. They will start doing the UDNA, so the unified architecture thing there. But yeah, I will assume this will have also an NPU, given that it's a chiplet design, or in the Intel case, the tile design. And I think this will be a little bit uplift in terms of performance, I assume, given that I assume that is going to have a little bit more juice out of this iGPU plus the NPU being seen slowly but surely the adoption of more workloads that can benefit with an NPU. And I think the NPU is going to be important on AMD, mainly because in gaming, I think the upscaling workload might be delivered to the NPU. I'm not exactly sure exactly how that works in terms of engineering thing, but I think it's something they are looking into it, especially on the next discrete GPUs there. But yeah, interesting stuff here. This might also reflect better performance, for example, on mini PCs, something that I'm trying to delve a little bit more and study the situation, mainly because, again, the dual PC setup that I spoke yesterday. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if this will bring big uplifts in terms of price to performance and even on savings in terms of cost of energy there. But yeah, interesting things to see. And then we got the debacle continuing with NVIDIA. It seems that this new driver, the 572.XX, whatever the version is reportedly causing serious problem for RTX 40 series owners, from crashes, black screens, and a lot of bit more issues there. Again, since the launch of the 50 series, they had also the 50 series had also these kind of problems, plus all the missing ROPs, the burning connectors on the 5090s. Again, all of that jazz, the CUDA 32 bits not being supported now. Again, a lot of stuff happening, and because they focus basically only on the 50 series and trying to troubleshoot and resolve that issues. um, Again, the 40 series owners were left behind on the support in terms of the driver stuff, mainly because these drivers bring up the DLSS 4 and the transformer model and all those extra new technologies and updated technologies, and people with the 40 series that supposedly can use some of those technologies, especially the transformer model, so the DLSS 4, uh, are not able to do that because they have to basically install older drivers. So they have to roll older drivers so they can have a more stable system. We got this user explained that his personal experience with this new driver elicits several such reports that overlap with each other with some common bugs. This includes issues like hard system crashes, which is not good, black screens, even display issues were rare before this patch here. Other users says that Cyberpunk on this 4080 crashed right when it started. It only got fixed with 572 drivers. Another with a 4980 said it encountered several issues like black screens, freezes, monitors not being able to turn on at all. He too fixed with 566 drivers. Again, apparently NVIDIA ignored those bug fix requests from this on 40 series owners and didn't do anything, which had been actively reported by users since the end of January. So it's been a while on this kind of things regarding the 40 owners, the RTX 40 owners, sorry. And yeah, they are basically forced to roll back to previous drivers to try and fix this situation. Again, they cannot take advantage of the transform model of DLSS 4, not even the updated reconstruction and new games, again, that support this DLSS technology here, which is a shame. Again, it seems that NVIDIA, again, completely botched this launch. And it's not a good sight to see. And again, I'm assuming being an NVIDIA owner, it's not good at this point in time. But yeah, in terms of kind of the industry this it, in terms of games, we got the Khazan or the first Berserker Khazan, got the reviews coming out. And the review seems to be, the consensus seems to be 9 out of 10 around that. Excellent combat, good level design. The story is not that much something to write about, but it's more than serviceable. The replayability is also a little bit of the weak point. Here on the Factual Life, they said maybe a new game plus, and that's it. And then again, you can have a different experience if you build around the character with different kind of weapon style there. But yeah, the gameplay excellent. Design in terms of level designs and visual designs and even audio engineering seems pretty good. And yeah, the price point is $60, not $70. So I think it's at least for a first timer doing this kind of games. Again, takes a lot of inspiration from kind of Bloodborne pairing style, very fast and fast paced, but especially on the boss side of things, you really need to strategize while you fight. The ability stuff there, it's very similarly very Neon like. Again, I didn't play Neon 2, but there are a lot of reference in terms of inspiration of how they're going about it, which is good to see. But yeah, overall, it seems an excellent one. I did not manage to play this demo of this game, but I think I will skip this one and buy outright the game. I might try a little bit here, the Kazan. I did manage to tweak around before recording. I remember playing like 2 or 3 minutes to see if the recording settings were okay. But again, no combat or anything like that that I went through. But yeah, the fact that he has also the art style very cel shaded, very interesting, very anime inspired. But yeah, it seems overall an excellent game for a first timer developer going about doing a game like this. I think in terms of success of delving deep in some kind of these games, kind of similar to Lies of Pi. Again, even though Lies of P does play itself very differently from this game, but it's on that same level of reception. At least it seems so. Then we got on the, I think it was the GDC or something like that, Crimson Desert. So the Black Space engine that powers upcoming Crimson Desert. There were some showcases of the technology. Again, this game seems to be very good. Again, and I like to see some in-house game engines because again, it creates a little bit competitiveness. So that not everybody is dependent on Unreal Engine. Again, this game had some kind of transformations. It was presented first at 2019. Supposedly was like a sequel to it's not Black Desert, I think. And then afterwards, it was announced that they were changing from a MMO to a single player open world with still some multiplayer stuff there. And supposedly, even that multiplayer stuff, it was completely cut down, even though they didn't announce anything. But yeah, these small videos here, it's like short videos, 1 minute kind of videos here showcasing technology from time lapse stuff there, the base cloth and the wind interaction there, which is very interesting, fog interaction, and even water based physics and some ray tracing there. It's interesting, this game. Again, my only concern is to see if this game heavies too much on the hardware, on the current hardware or not. It seems to be fluid enough on the gameplay presentations that they did. There were some, I think, issues that pop out here and there, but very rarely. It seems, I don't know, fluid enough. The art style is very unique, and I just hope that the engine can endure the things that they are doing on this game here. But we'll have to wait and see the reviews and probably previews before that. Again, I don't remember when this game comes out. Supposedly, it will come out this year. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember if they have a definitive. Yeah, it's slated for this fall. There is no definitive launch date yet, a day for this one. But yeah, it's looking good so far. Even the combat systems very action oriented. It seems that you can only utilize a sword and shield kind of gameplay there. I'm not sure exactly. I tend to forget these kind of details after not covering games for a little while. But yeah, it's on my wish list, and when it comes, I will for sure will be trying out. And then lastly, we got here Pacific Drive launched another update, which is Endless Expeditions. They got a short video here explaining what it's coming up here. Again, this game is the Endless Expeditions will launch April 3rd, so around 2 weeks or so. New maps, spawning systems, improved tools, and more. This is one of the games that I really, really want to try out one of these days. Again, when I have time on doing some stuff here, it's kind of a roguelike kind of a game here with a twist on the fact that you drive a car around, um, doing repairs, upgrades. Then you have the permanent upgrades, some survival mechanics there. Very interesting how they approach here, and the fact that this studio is a very small studio. It's like 10 or 15 people's only that of size studio that did manage to put out this excellent game. The feedback is pretty positive, so it's one of those that I really want to try out. And when it's on sale, I really do like to highlight this game because it's one of those that I really want to play one of these days. But yeah, in terms of news, is what I got. Some gaming deals to wrap up this one. We got still Miasma Chronicles, which is kind of spiritual successor of Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden. I think that's the full name. They got here. Oh no, I already have on my library here. It doesn't appear here on the thing here. No, yeah, Mutineer Zero to Eden. Yeah, it's the spiritual successor. It seems an improvement from that game. But yeah, 50% off. I think it's well worth from the feedback that people are giving to this game here. We got No Man's Sky, 60% off. Again, 20 plus updates they already did on this game. It's now basically delivering what they promised at the time that it was launched. It took a while, but they did manage to do that. We got Cyberpunk, 60% off, but I think the Ultimate Edition is the better option here with the Phantom Liberty DLC. We got also Citizen Sleeper. It's kind of a RPG dice game with skill checks with the dice stuff there. Choice and consequences, I think. Very interesting game. Again, 70% off, very cheap and very positive feedback. It's one of those that to change a little bit from the games that you usually play, I think it might be a good option for you. Then you got Hogwarts Legacy. Now it's on sale, 75% off. Again, it's one of those games, bestseller from Warner Brothers from I don't know how long. But yeah, 75% off. Then you got The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Again, the way to go is the complete edition. It's 80% off. Again, it's one of those that it still maintains its quality throughout the years. I do recommend the first playthrough going vanilla, maybe with some mods regarding graphical tweaks here and there, better textures, something like that. It's good for the first run. Then the second and third and the sequences runs that you're going to do or playthroughs with this game, you can start tweaking around with mods that some of them are really do change the world and the combat systems on this game here. Then you got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so the free games updated to 4K, and all the DLC associated with the free games here, 90% off. Again, very cheap, very solid trilogy here. And then lastly, we got The Flame in the Flood. Again, this is an older game, mostly positive. Again, it's a very small game. It's kind of a roguelite kind of a thing here. Do your little runs here down the river. Try to stop in several spots here to again resource management and upgrade your raft here. But yeah, it seems pretty decent, and it's 85% off. Again, it's just $3 or so. Again, and I think this game seems pretty interesting if you like those kind of games there. But yeah, this is it for me for today. I'll wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. The extra support is more in line for me to trying to get a better storage solution so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.